Hello, it's your fave, Beauty Sleep. We're going to talk a little bit today about the making of our The Whole Damn Cake album that came out a few months ago.
We're going to take you through all the songs on the album. We want to talk a little bit about how we wrote them and how we produced them as a songwriting production duo, and just take you behind the scenes of what it takes to make such a crazy record.
This is how you bake the cake.
Nice.
Right down the camera. Unreal.
So Unfamiliar is the oldest song on the record. It nearly was on our first record. So it was written way back in I feel like maybe 2017, 2018. And it's a song about just being really restless. I'm a really restless person. At the time that I wrote it, I don't think I really understood that about myself. So it was a very cathartic and honest outpouring of that frustration about myself and my outlook on the world and how I felt sometimes. We couldn't really figure it out for the first album in terms of production, so we just left it behind, but the song just kind of haunted us. We just kept playing it and kept thinking about it, and whenever we realized that this album was about embracing all parts of yourself, good and bad, we thought, well, that song really fits, and to be honest with you, we just needed to release it. We played it live a lot. We noticed it really, really resonated with a lot of people, especially restless women. We actually noticed with this song that a load of lads really don't like it. Not all the time, but the general trajectory is lads are like, that song's fine.
It kind of comes up all the time.
I love that song so much.
Yeah, and it's really emotional and meaningful. And for some people, some lads of a certain vibe, it's just oh, it's a misstep, or it's the harsh auto-tune, as if auto-tune has been around for 24 years or whatever, or even longer than that. I don't know. It was a different way to convey a very important emotion that was important because it stuck with us.
It clearly was a good song.
We keep playing the loop of chords at every keyboard instrument for years. And it just didn't make it the first time. But I'm glad we waited.
I'm glad we waited, because it's much better now. It's much more thought out. But
I mean, in fairness, not that it barely made it this time, but we didn't even really.
We had always said if we didn't get around to it, that's fine. It was last on our list. We were well, we want to put it on, but if we don't have the time, we won't do it. Do you know, that kind of thing? I love the lyrics. They still make me emotional. I just feel very lucky that I wrote them down at the time before I had really done any self-work on my mental health, because I just think they so perfectly describe how it feels when you have no words for the feeling. You do it till it hurts, you stop and it gets better. Push on before understanding why. I feel very connected to my younger self and just feel very empathetic towards her, and it is still really cathartic to be able to describe it in that way that's not well, I know that I'm quite restless and those emotions are natural and you just wait and they pass, or all of these things that you learn, which are helpful, but just to be able to say it or scream it in an auto-tune mic and jump around on stage and go because I love that the chorus has no words, because it's just a song about frustration.
Don't just
There's nothing unfamiliar. It's such a bore. That's just the feeling in a nutshell. I'm really glad that it made it on the album, and that I actually even made it to a single, because we released it in the summer last year with a vibey little music video that we recorded at the bridge near our house at 4 a.m. with the sun rising, because we were we should probably record a music video the day before it came out, and we did. So you should go and watch it.
That's a recurring theme on some of these.
Yes.
Unfamiliar.
What?
Unfamiliar. We're going to listen to the demo of this, which is just a very sleepy version of me singing into my laptop while the laptop is playing the audio of a demo that Ryan had sent me. So it sounds crazy, but you get the idea that it was all kind of there at the start.
Do it till it hurts. Stop and it gets better. Push it before understanding why. Feel it when it burns. Feel it when it's
So that's crucially the core of the song. We were laughing because we found a yawn in this, so I'm definitely really sleepy.
It sounds like you're literally under the covers recording it.
I mean, it might have been. It was when we were living in a shared house with 5 other people, so it was very plausible that I was under the covers recording that. Obviously, when we get to the actual then recording, it sounds much more alive. And the vocals in this are heavily auto-tuned, just auto-tune up to 100. We always wanted it to be really, really hard auto-tuned. I don't know why. It always really makes me feel like a sad robot. Vocals are also a little bit formatted down, which I think makes a big difference. It makes it sound, I don't know, again, a little bit more like its own entity rather than me singing it. I actually hate singing it without that format down a little bit. Let me find my vocals. Hold on one second.
Nothing unfamiliar, it's such a bore. Close my eyes to feel like there's something more. It's almost
That might not sound like a huge amount of difference.
Open up a plugin. -1 format for the drive.
God, that's so funny. To me, that's doing everything.
I think it does do a lot.
It just sounds like cute here.
Close my eyes to feel like there's
But it has like depth here, and I love that.
Just sounds like an
almost like
Yeah, a lot of the harmonies we just did like one night, late at night, just in that corner, no plans, lots and lots of
It's
layers.
before we got our nice, beautiful tube mic for this album, and so we use what has now become our ragtime mic, which is also a lovely little Sennheiser.
Sennheiser 441. But I'll play you the bridge. Like, there's lots of lovely.
you heal on your own and shout out it's not over. Stop before it burns. You push until you cry. You don't understand why.
So I think I was always really focused on the vocal production of this, and I really love how close and nasty some of those harmonies are. And that there's these lovely moments where the vocals can be really exposed, so that the vocals are almost becoming kind of like a vocoder or an instrument in themselves. But the instrumentation was always, we were trying to keep it as simple as possible, but whilst letting it fit in with the rest of the album and still feeling like alive. Do you know, because we've talked about that a lot, we were really keen on everything feeling really like alive and real and human in this album. Do you want to talk about some of that stuff, Ryan?
Yeah, this song was very difficult to produce. I guess it's a matter of, do less sometimes, and life gets a lot easier. I think we're trying to be too clever, program drum machines, just a million different things over really the years. Like everything, you deliberate, you worry, you go through all these stages, these demos, these revisions, you can't see it anymore, and then you just sort of put it away for a while, but then when you unearth it again, it actually comes together probably the quickest of any song in the record. When we were in the studio, we grabbed the Fender Rhodes. For years have both played the chord sequence on any like keyboard instrument we pass, so it just felt right, like, let's just grab it at like the and around the tempo we want it to be, and maybe we'll use it. A basic loop of, and there's maybe a lower one, just doing octaves as well. That was all it was then. At a certain point I put it through like a portal, that kind of granular delay type thing. It was either that or a pedal that we have called a particle. It might have been both, but it's doing a bit of this sort of. So just swimming around and tickling the ear, and like the key attacks sort of delay and sounding like a clock almost, which I sort of like. It kind of upsets the loops for me in a nice way. Again, with a vocal, just like subtler little washes are happening. So just bits of like automation and stuff, just pull into those. But the whole thing was like, well, how do we build this in any interesting way? This was the first song we recorded all the drums in this room, which was an experiment. This wasn't really designed to be like a big live room type of a studio. It was kind of to facilitate mixing this record and to finish projects we'd recorded elsewhere with other people. But all of a sudden we've been recording drums in here pretty consistently. There was also some percussion, probably from like Logic in the early days of one of the demos, that are going. So with real drums. Playing pretty cool, although I think there's a fun video of me and Ross coaching each other through this fill you took.
Yeah.
We could probably put in
Flap boom. Da 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 da. Psh. Whatever the most amount is there, you can do. Well, yeah, that's maybe too much there, but it was great.
So that was a lot of fun. I played bass in it. There was a lot of like fun kind of.
This is a fun moment to pick.
Yeah.
Human. Real man, real.
I remember adding these little bits of like synth production on the Juno the same day. So then that all just became. Yeah, done.
That's it.
Also, this loop's called Frisky Hi-Hats. Appropriate.
You do it till it hurts. You stop and it gets better. Push on before understanding why. Feel it when it burns. Feel it when it soothes me. Almost like whatever you do moves me. It's nothing unfamiliar. It's such a bore. Close my eyes to feel like there's something more. It's almost like we've run out of things to say. Almost like I need you every day. I do it out of love, do it out of anger. Know just how to wind you up to burst. Miss you all the time, need my independence. Wonder if this is a curse. There's something unfamiliar in this light. Close my eyes and fear, pull my arms in tight. It's almost like I'm terrified of what I want. Almost like I crave feeling scared all along. Before it burns, you push until you cry. You don't understand why.
Watched a beauty sleep video. Thank you so much for making it through. A little moment to talk about how you might want to support us or follow us down the line, as we are an indie band and the world is crazy and trying to find new cool music is really, really difficult at the minute. I would suggest listening to our album, telling friends about our album. Watching our music videos means a lot to us. Like, we make those ourselves as well.
You could come to a show.
You could come to a show.
Bring your friends to a show.
How do you hear about the show, I hear you ask? We have a mailing list and we have a Discord server, and we found that reliably they're the best ways for you to actually hear about the news that we're telling you about, whether it's gigs or new singles. And I promise you, we don't annoy you. If anything, I hope it brings a bit of joy into your inbox and or Discord experience. If you aren't into Discord yet, I would really recommend it for the music communities alone. I'm involved in a few, and they're just a great place to meet other fans of bands as well. So those links will always be in our link tree, which is usually linked in the bio of any of our socials. And so if you wanted to follow along, buy any merch, come to a show, sign up to a mailing list, it goes such a long way. And leaving a comment or reaching out to us in any way always helps, because we feel crazy and alone most of the time. That's all. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Lots of love from Beauty Sleep.